Welcome to the woods. It's drizzling, it's wet, it's mulchy. It's pretty fab, to be honest. And well, today's bike of choice is the fat bike, the Smokestone Henderson. Now, I hear what you're saying. It says it's the UK Gravel Collective. Well, here on the UK Gravel Collective, we don't like rules, and you can gravel on anything. And to be honest, I'd be using my gravel bike in this, so why not make it harder and have some nice 4-inch, 3.5 if you're going to argue, tyres. Actually 3.8. What do I know? I just ride it. And a 4-inch on the back. And again, why are you asking? Are you riding that? And you could be riding a mountain bike. Well, it's almost Global Fat Bike Day. So I've dusted it off. Scraped some mud off. And here it is. So this is the first ride of this season. And it's just started raining again. Oh well. Now you think riding the fat bike would take some getting used to after riding a drop bar, basically road bike off-road. Well, no, it's surprisingly easy to get back into. Even with these tyres on, which just float over everything but don't actually grip in the wet and the mud. But what I am really not getting used to is baggy shorts. I just used to wear them all the time. I used to wear them for gravel biking. But since the advent of cargo shorts, I've not been wearing them. But it's colder today, so I've put. And it's really weird. Feels really uncomfortable. After probably 40 years of wearing baggy shorts on bright rides. Well, I'm not sure this is good for someone whose back is 58 years old. And it's not really sheltering me from the weather. Maybe I should light a fire. Why is there something right, inherently right, about using totally wrong bike for the job? And you'll argue that this mountain bike is probably more suited to this, but I've just ridden up there and I wouldn't have ridden up there on a normal mountain bike or a gravel bike. I'd probably pushed. But it's just so pleasing. So what's the most inappropriate bike you've ridden off-road? And I don't mean on a cycle path, I mean on this sort of stuff. Whoa! Yep, that's weird. Ow! Yeah, it should be going this way. Oh, stuck. Yeah, it's all just pretty rubbish in mud. It doesn't help that I'm not fat bike fit and I'm carrying a phone on the end of a selfie stick, you know. So, oh look. Don't need to just park it. It just stands up on its own. Is that how you can tell it's winter? Let's give it another go. Whoa. Let's give it another go. No shame in pushing. But the other thing I've got to get used to is the fact that I'm now not attached to the pedals anymore. Something I've always done when mountain biking really, unless you go a really long distance. But I've got to relearn that technique of keeping your heels down. Especially downhill on some of the sniper routes that are on this trail and well everywhere in the UK now. They're under leaves, they're slimy, and they're never perpendicular to the trail. They're always slightly off, so you slide all over the place. And while this is no way a review of this bike or fat bikes in general, but I would say, despite the drawbacks, such as the weight, it's like having an e-bike but without the assistance. It's pretty rubbish in everything but groomed snow, sand, and just the dry trails that ordinary mountain bikes are good at. So, you know, I'm not really selling it, but it's a hell of a lot of fun. It is like riding a Tonka toy. It'll roll over anything, so you don't have to finesse the trails. If you make a mistake, go over the top of the berm, just roll over it, it'll just keep on going. And as the fat bike bubble quite a few years ago, there are lots of bargains to be had with really nice high-spec bikes that, because you're not spending a lot of money, you can just keep it for high days, holidays, and for dicking around in the woods, such as I'm doing. So, thanks for watching. Hope you've enjoyed a bit of fat bike life. Sniper routes. And I'll see you on the next one. If you'd like to subscribe, that would be ace. Bye.